Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the hardest part of the ring, Indie Underground Edition, with your host, the guy that's never taken any mess, better than the best, Teron Bishop. And the gentleman here, he always just wants you to enjoy the lunch. He don't want a whole bunch of drama. He just want to chill. It's Hollywood.
That's what I'm saying.
Jacoby.
That's how Jacoby, it goes.
Yeah, duh.
You know, sorry.
It's okay. But Jacoby, you always bring a guest to my cookout, right? Like, because, you know, you only get into to-go plate. So you brought me a guest today, right?
That's facts. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Here we are. Actually, I would say that, well, I guess originally it's by extension of CJ, but you know what? We're here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a good friend, new friend of the podcast, Mr. Tim the Mush Master Spriggs. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Indie Underground.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Thanks for having me. It's your boy, Tim the Mush Master Spriggs, a.k.a. the Choke Dealer, a.k.a. Blast Double Poppy, a.k.a. the Chosen One, the man that is bringing legitimacy back to professional wrestling.
There it is.
You know, like, okay, so Michael Allen Richard Clark claimed he has the longest name. Tim has just now taken over that space.
Right there, bro. Right there.
Sorry.
We already seen it.
Sorry, Mark.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So I am so happy to bring some brown boy joy to this podcast, right?
Yes, sir.
Like, you know, we stand on Black excellence here, and also diversity and women's wrestling here as well. So anytime we get somebody of color, we're excited to have that conversation because it's a different perspective from our world to the normal world, to be very honest with you, right?
100%, man. You know, I'm happy to be able to carry that torch for so many guys that were for me. But, you know, I look at myself more than just a Black wrestler. You know, I'm too good to be put in a box. I'm just a great athlete. You know, I'm pretty much a prize fighter that decided to beat up pro wrestlers. And I'm more than black and white. I'm like Michael Jackson, man. I'm just an enigma.
I love it. Like,
God
so,
dang.
Yeah.
There
it's
it
like
is,
that.
Bro.
Shout out to Mike.
Tim, you just graduated MCW Pro Wrestling Training School, right?
Yep. Yes.
Black belt in jiu-jitsu.
Yes. No, I'm not just a black belt. I am the best grappler in the world.
Okay.
Number one in the world.
Okay.
And I got tired of beating up on jiu-jitsu people because I'm too, like I said, I can't be put into a box. And you know, they don't pay enough. They can't afford me no more. I priced myself out, and I'm more than just a black belt. I am the black belt. I'm the best grappler in the world. If I put my hands on somebody, they're either gonna have a broken arm, broken leg, get put to sleep, or get a concussion. But continue.
So, Tim, you've done most. I love you. I love it. I love it. Somebody now that's on my energy, Jake. Like, you know.
Yes.
Tim, you did most of your damage as a brown belt, though. Like, right? Like, I hear a lot of your history as a brown belt is legendary.
Yeah, I had a pretty legendary lower belt run for sure. Yeah, me and my crew, we just went across the country, went across the globe, and we just were killing people. Just really dominating the scene. I got my black belt, and by then I was kind of burnt out, but I still kept in it because, you know, I didn't know what else I really wanted to do with my time and with my energy. But yeah, that's when the legend really started. I had this technique called the train wreck, and I was giving people concussions and all that stuff. You know, I came up training judo with Olympians like Nick Del Popolo. He's a multiple-time judo Olympian. He was the number one guy in the United States. This guy Nyamkar, this guy Sugi, a lot of Mongolians. And then I learned wrestling from like NCAA champion level guys like Greg Lindenberger. And of course, I'm from Team Lord Irvin Jiu-Jitsu and MMA. So, you know, that's where I came up. So that's where I came from, man. So yeah, that's where the legend started.
So tell me why you just picked the sport. Honestly, you know, 9-year-old, 10-year-old Tim, why'd you pick a sport that you just want to beat up on people? Like, you know, like what put you in this place? Give us a little bit of your background.
I was always fascinated with martial arts. My favorite movies as a kid were all the Bruce Lee movies, Ninja Turtles, Three Ninjas, everything. My favorite TV show was Walker, Texas Ranger. And there's pictures of me when I was real little doing karate. I stopped when I was in middle school. And I played regular sports, and in high school, I was tried out for the football team, and I got on the team, but the coach was a dick. I went to Mount St. Joe's High School, which it's a good school, but I'm gonna be honest, when you go to one of these big Catholic schools, there's a bunch of meathead, you know, racist guys, like from all the old '80s movies, like all the villains. That school was filled with them,
Mm-hmm.
and I did not fit in at all. And I realized that these are the type of people I'm gonna have to deal with. So I'm gonna have to learn how to fight. And you need to learn how to fight in life. I started with karate for a year after my freshman year. And then I watched the first season of Ultimate Fighter around that time. And everybody was afraid of the jiu-jitsu guys. If you had a jiu-jitsu black belt back in the early 2000s, any kind of mixed martial arts contest, you were somebody that they had to deal with. And I went online, I Googled Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in Columbia, Maryland. Thank God, Crazy 88 BJJ came up, and it was all she wrote. I was 16. My mommy and daddy, like a lot of guys in jiu-jitsu, their mommy and daddy put them in it, but I came to the realization that I needed to be a man and make a decision for my own. And I realized that I'm going to do jiu-jitsu, and I'm going to learn how to fight and defend myself or die trying. Since 2006, it was all she wrote. That's how it started.
So in jiu-jitsu, right? Like
the
people that look like us, right? A lot of black and brown people. We have a few that's up there, right? Like, how is it in the world for somebody that's black and brown in the jiu-jitsu world to actually come up in that world?
It's not very welcoming at all. It's kind of like wrestling fans.
Yep.
No offense, Hollywood Jacoby, but there's a lot of white racist incels, they haven't had pussy since pussy had them, and they don't have any qualms about going online and telling you that you suck no matter how many times you prove that you're the best. It's not a very welcoming place for men, women, people in the LGBTQ spectrum.
That's true.
And it's not very good, especially for my team, Team Lloyd Irvin, because we're all brothers from the DMV.
So is it getting any better though, Tim? Do you see the curve kind of like changing? Is it getting a little bit more acceptance so people can come in and kind of learn the art?
No.
What do you think needs to happen to change that?
You just need more guys like myself, more guys like the rest of the Team Lloyd Irvin, like Jamil Hill Taylor, Malachi Edmond, that just beat the hell out of these guys until they realize that we're here to stay, that we're taking over, and representation matters. A lot less bootlicking, because cops love jujitsu, and there's no offense, like, it's okay, but that whole kind of Blue Lives Matter, MAGA vibe, that's pervasive in jujitsu. And the only way we can fight that is just more involvement with people from different backgrounds, because we need it. We need that shit,
You seem to do a lot on social media to really promote, right? Like you when I look up Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, African American Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you're one of the first names to come up. Like, like amateur, your name is just there. So you seem to do a lot for the community. So tell us some things that you actually do for your community and how you actually impact.
I think just by me existing is a form of revolt. Just by me being true to myself and being out there and winning, or just put my name out there, I think that's the best thing that I can do. There have been times where I try to build organizations and try to get something started. Definitely did in 2020 during the pandemic. We were all on lockdown, but that didn't really work out. And a lot of times that doesn't work out because I'm not an organizer. I'm an athlete. I try to be a pseudo businessman. I try to make it happen on that front. But I think just by me being a representative and just being true to who I am is the best that I can do. For better or for worse, that's the best I can do. And I try. And when I see somebody step out of line, then I say something. And just me styling on them. I go to these events and I'm on this reality show, the first of 4 jiu-jitsu. It's called Who's Next? Submission Grappling Challenge. And I'm a black guy, and my coach, my assistant coach, is black. And I go to these pay-per-views and I'm dressed in a suit and I speak that spectacular vernacular. And, just by me doing that, there's little black kids around the world that look up to me. And I've seen it. I've been to Vegas for the World Jiu-Jitsu Expo, and this black family that came all the way from England to compete, they took a picture with me, and I was ecstatic. I was like, damn, I'm doing something, man. Somebody's going to remember me. So just being me and being myself and saying, fuck them, That's all you need to do, man. That's all you need to do.
That energy, right? So we like to tell people that the hardest part of the Ring podcast is the indie underdogs, right? Like we do it for the people that's too afraid to do it, right? And we kind of lean into our brand, right? I think that's very important for people to see influential people like yourself and everybody on the screen right now. Like we're not afraid to go out there, be ourselves, and make an impact in our way, right?
Yes.
It's important, and it's important for little Black and brown people to see the interactions between us three people, people of color, and what I like to call an ally, to help push the movement forward, so everybody can be accepted into the world of jiu-jitsu or anything they want to put their mind to.
Yes. Yeah. I say it all the time. Representation matters, and when you excel, it opens the door. I take that beat down for the people that are next in line, because I know that the people before me did it. Like my coach, Master Lloyd, he's just a guy from the DMV just like me, but he set everything in motion almost 30 years ago, and he took that beat down. He had to deal with the media being unfair to him, the double standards, and that's what we need to do.
So in the MMA world, right? Like you'll get this question twice. Like, so just prepare yourself, right?
Yeah.
In the MMA world, who's the people that was your influential leaders? Who influenced you?
My coach, Julius Park from Crazy 88. He's another minority. He's Korean American, which, he's not a white guy. My coach, Master Lloyd, Black dude. A lot of the guys that came up with the people of color. My brother, Ty Ryan Murphy. I call him my brother. He's like my big brother. We're not related by blood, but we shed blood together. We've been around the world together. He's Black. A lot of these people influenced me because they put me under their wing and they helped me. They were my influence. I mean, before I started, I liked MMA fighters like Vanderlei Silva, Dan Henderson, Rampage Jackson. Those are the big three for me because I was really into Pride. But personally, it's Master Lloyd, Julius Park, Tyron Murphy, those three.
Yeah.
But so many.
So we got to touch on your MMA career, right? But
yeah,
you know what we here to do.
Yeah.
We here to talk about some wrestling. So you and we shared a couple of words, right?
Yes.
About MJF earlier this week. It's a lot of stuff that popped off. So I need to get your opinion on two matters. So the first thing is the Sasha Banks and Naomi situation. Are you familiar?
I'm familiar. Yes.
Okay. So I feel, and you both can agree or disagree. It doesn't, like we can talk about it. I feel that the MJF situation kind of has the same energy, right? But the reactions were completely different. Do you guys agree?
Absolutely.
I agree the reactions were different, but the scenarios and the way they played out were different.
Right. So started with Sasha Banks, Naomi. Do you feel they did the right thing?
The right thing is just so subjective, right?
Right.
They're independent contractors.
Do they feel they did the right thing?
As independent contractors, you have the right to step away. Whether or not in practice that's how it's supposed to be, they're independent contractors. So as an independent contractor, I've been an independent contractor for the last 10 plus years. So you have that right to leave. Now, as far as if I would do it, no, because they're getting paid a shitload of money.
Right.
They're getting paid a shitload of money to do it. I mean, I don't know how much. I'm not counting their pockets, but I mean, they're making a lot of money to do that shit. And at the end of the day, fuck it. I mean, I wouldn't do that. But if you're at your wit's end, you got to be able to live with that decision, because it's not hurting anyone. It's not like they're a doctor. It's not like they just dipped out in the middle of heart surgery. It's not like they're a lawyer and somebody's ass is on the line. Whether they show up, they get life in prison or they get them off. So it doesn't really hurt nobody. So I wouldn't have done it, but they're in their right to leave because they're putting their body on the line, and somebody will pay them to wrestle.
It's right. So
that's what I kept saying on the podcast all the time. I was like, it's not like they're gonna not get work if they end up losing their jobs, especially. You know what I'm saying? Because these two women are some of the best in the world at what they do. It is what it is.
The internet, right? We all know the internet. This pool of evil, like and bullshit. The internet's reaction to them was very negative, and it was reinforced by the WWE, like in my opinion. Again, like it just the way Sasha Banks and Naomi let us down. Like they abandoned, you know, blah 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 blah. The words that they were using really painted these black women in a bad way. But we look at the flip side, which you and I talked about, Tim, briefly with MJF. You said, okay, well, I said, is this a work or is this is this real? You said to me that either way is attention for MJF. He's getting attention.
Yeah.
I feel though, just looking at the internet, MJF got positive attention for doing something very identical. By dipping out on a fan fest where people paid money to see him, and people just like, oh, it's just in his character, he's just working. They just accepted it, and I don't know if I feel that that's right.
My grandmother used to always say, "You can't do what they do." It's always going to be a double standard. You always got to work twice as hard, and you will get a worse punishment than they will if they get a punishment off for doing what they want to do. Take it from me as a star in jiu-jitsu. I could kill 100 people in a row. They're still going to shit on me. So no matter what you do, you're the bad guy. So these two beautiful black women, you know, they're doing what they want to do. They're having agency over their body and over their career. Of course, they're going to be the bad guy. MJF is a white dude that people love for some reason or love to hate, and he's going to get away with it, man. They always get away with it. So it's this double standard. We just got to live with it, you know? Right. And he showed up. He still wrestled.
He still wrestled.
And he still wrestled. Like, yeah, okay, the fan fest, yeah, but who cares? I mean, part of the reason why I wrestle is because I saw what he was making to do an autograph signing. He flips people off. He's an asshole. He's a dickhead. All the pejoratives you want to give the guy, and people just eat that shit up. So these people probably came in their pants that they were the ones that showed up to the fan fest, and then he didn't show up. They probably gonna keep that ticket in a fucking
Ziploc
bag and go put it on the frame of the picture against the wall. I was there, man. I was there. They're probably selling those tickets on eBay, so it don't really matter. And he still showed up to work.
He showed, and that's the only thing I can't say about him though. He did show up to work, like, and
he got his ass beat though.
He did.
That's
he got
true.
Fucking dismantled.
Yeah.
So bad that they put the mask on him wrong, and they put him in the stretcher the wrong way too. Like, but he did show up to work. So I mean, I gotta hats off that he showed up, I guess. But just the internet's reaction to me is what rubbed me the wrong way. You know, if you're gonna stand up for something, stand up for it all the way. Like, so both sides stand up for it. So if you feel that Sasha Banks and Naomi was unprofessional, was MJF technically unprofessional as well? Yes. The only difference that happened in this situation is he actually showed up to the actual match, but his circumstances are a little bit different too. Again, we all know for women wrestlers, it's 20 times harder.
Right.
He said he wanted to be paid more because he outworked the performance that was expected of him. I mean, what the fuck does that even mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
it's like sports though. You can hold out.
Right.
He has the luxury of holding out. It's not what you deserve, it's what you can negotiate.
Exactly. That's actually a really good way to put it.
It's what you can negotiate. This guy knows, and Sasha and Naomi know that there's other options. It's not 10 years ago.
Right.
And he can negotiate. So he's got the world by the balls, so he's gonna squeeze and twist. Can't blame him for that.
So what was the pop off for you on Double or Nothing? What did you enjoy?
Man, I didn't really watch it. I saw clips. Like, why am I going to watch a show where I can beat the shit out of all the guys? Like, okay, great. I'm not going to do that to me. Like, I just would look at it like, I'm not doing that to me. Like, so, like, okay, great. Like, all right, I'll look at the results. I'll look at clips. I'll look at highlights. But, you know, it's like.
You see any highlights? You see any highlights to catch your eye, though?
I mean, I saw Eddie Kingston bloody and trying to kill somebody and pour gasoline on him. Yeah,
my man out here wasting gas. Okay, like wasting gas.
You gotta really hate a motherfucker to pour gas on him in this economy.
Right.
That shit's like $5-6 a gallon. He really hated that motherfucker.
My man had a deep hatred. That man hated that guy so bad he hated his mama. Like, I mean, his grandma. He hated the whole damn lineage. He was like, I'm about to burn all of it.
Listen, You just sometimes you gotta do that, man. Scorched earth.
In his defense, he burned him first. So
Yeah. Yeah.
like,
He's completely justified.
Look, I need those eyebrows to be gone. Like, I don't believe
You don't like his eyebrows.
Like, no, I just need the eyebrows to be gone, man. Like, he got
you gotta sell it. You gotta sell it.
Cut them eyebrows off. That's all I'm saying.
My eyebrows, bro. Nah, not my eyebrows. You're not getting my eyebrows.
And Chris Jericho said he a wizard. Like, so
and he's dressed
the Grand Wizard.
Yo, stop it.
The Grand Wizard.
Look, Tim being here is like Javon being here because Javon like Grand Wizard.
Hey, man, you can't call yourself the wizard, bro. You can't call yourself the wizard in 2022. Now, if your wife was at the insurrection, sorry, you can't do that. If I gotta ask your whereabouts of January 6th, you can't call yourself the wizard, bro.
Oh shit!
Sorry.
Oh no,
it's not gonna happen.
All right, well,
God damn. Look, that's funny as fuck. Though.
With that, we're gonna take a couple of minutes, pay the bills, and we'll be right back.
Bet.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the hardest part of the ring, Indie Underground Edition, where we have our special guest, Tim Spriggs. So we just talked about a little bit of AEW. We talked about his MMA career. We had some laughs talking about Miss Rona and how Jacoby has it. Let me make that again. Let's make that clear that Jacoby has the Rona, aka throat AIDS, aka that monster.
Oh wow!
Wow!
Damn.
Wow! Yeah, this time, ladies and gentlemen, it's legitimate. Yeah, unlike the last time where we pretended that it was. This time, it's bad. So, luckily, we're coming down from it though. So we're here. We're here, ready to work. So, but Mr. Tim, let's get back into this whole thing. So, obviously, you were a jiu-jitsu, or still are, a jiu-jitsu superstar, right? Traveled the world, doing everything, beating up everybody, right?
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned earlier, you said about how you can get paid more doing this professional wrestling thing, and you kind of found your way to MCW. Now, did you seek them out? Was it kind of a mutual thing? Was it a perfect storm? How did you decide, I'm going to go to this wrestling school?
A long time ago, I made a decision between wanting to be a wrestler or wanting to learn how to fight. And MCW is known around the nation. Just look at all the people that have come through there.
Right.
Leo Rush, Velveteen Dream. I don't know if I can say his name because he's canceled.
Well,
you can say it.
I wish Javon was here. Javon's a very big supporter of Patrick around here.
So many guys. Mickey James, Lita. Just to name a few, just such superb talent. And even now, we had our first pay-per-view. Of course, I was on it, the highlight of the show. If you ain't see, I was popping bottles on pay-per-view.
Yep.
I don't really care about anyone else on the roster, but I'm on there, so that's all that really matters.
And
I'm the next in line,
That works.
So I sought them out. I got tired of doing jiu-jitsu because they can't afford me. And I realized that you can make way more money beating the hell out of people in a wrestling ring than on a jiu-jitsu mat.
Absolutely.
April of last year, I made the decision that I'm going to do it. So I got the jab and I was like, all right, man, let's just take over wrestling like I took over jiu-jitsu. And then the rest is history. In less than a year, I graduated the training center, the best training center in the country. That means it's one of the best, and not the best in the world. Graduated in less than a year, made my debut, crushed the former tag team champion. Next match on our show, it would have been on YouTube, it would have been on our streaming service, but I kicked this guy's ass so bad that the Maryland State Athletic Commission won't let the footage be shown. And then on the pay-per-view, I set the record for the fastest submission victory in the history of pro wrestling. And I was drunk off of champagne on the way there, drunk. And then afterwards, if you look at my social media, we were parking lot pimping. And the next day I was totally sweating champagne. It was good though. Me and my crew, Team Spriggs, we just had a really good time at the club afterwards, and it's just light work.
Absolutely.
Team Spriggs is out of control. First of all, y'all are out of control. Okay, I can't but so much stuff in one day. Okay, y'all need to chill the fuck out. Chill the fuck out.
Nah, man, we can't chill, man.
Y'all popping bottles. I was expecting y'all to pass the Kavasi at this point. Y'all.
Yeah, we saving top shelf for when I win the belt.
There it
We're
goes.
saving top shelf for when we win the belt. We got the hose in the back, what else? So they get the champagne, but top shelf, that's for the boys and that's for the big celebration.
All right.
Mhm.
There it goes. Let me ask
Yeah.
you this though. So did you kind of grow up with pro wrestling? Like, did you? Because like everybody's kind of got like that, like most times like Attitude Era type wrestling on, back in the '90s, watching
Mhm.
Raw and stuff. So I was curious, maybe if you had same kind of experience.
Yeah, man. I loved pro wrestling when I was a kid.
Okay.
Like I said, I loved martial arts, and when I was a kid, I did theater because my mom was an actress. So when I
Oh,
was
cool.
watching wrestling when I was real little, I just knew it was just everything combined and what I loved. I love
Right.
sports. I love hitting people. I like the theatrics of it. One of my earliest memories of wrestling is when Hulk Hogan was WCW, when he was
Hmm.
still, red and yellow, and Thunder in Paradise. Like I vividly remember that show. That's how
Damn.
old I am.
Okay.
And I always loved it. I saw Starcade when Goldberg damn near killed Bret Hart and ended his career. I saw that shit. I loved it, but I stopped watching in like 04, 05. Like around the time Eddie Guerrero died and when like a little bit before Chris Benoit went nuts
Hmm.
when that shit happened, unfortunately.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, that's when I stopped watching. So I didn't watch for a really long time until a few years
Right.
ago. Mhm.
Yeah. It seems like there was a big kind of like bring back like people coming back to it just recently. Whether it was because of like the creation of AEW or even before then. I mean, I
Yeah.
had, a bunch of people came back around the time CM Punk had like was at the peak of his powers, then left, that kind of thing. So really cool stuff. But while we were trolling down on your Instagram and stuff like that, we saw that you actually got to meet a WWE Hall of Famer. You met RVD
Yeah.
recently and stuff
Uh-huh.
like that. Explain that. How did that come about? Like,
I was at I was at practice one day at MCW, and
mhm,
the producers for this movie called The Realtor, it's coming out later this year.
mhm.
They were looking for talent, and Dean, head guy at MCW, told him like, "Yo, this kid's gonna be a star." I was like, "Duh, Dean," but he went up to him and said, "Hey, this guy needs to be in the movie." So I ended up getting a part in the movie, speaking role. I got to wrestle RVD in a match on the movie, and yeah, it was pretty sick. I got to be under the learning tree from him. It was really cool because I remember watching him, Sabu, Mike Awesome on, I think it was the Family Channel at the time, like when they
Mhm.
had that TV show on ECW. And I just
Yeah.
loved wrestling. And, coming full circle, being in a movie and get my foot in the door with Hollywood, which it's paid huge dividends. I already got booked for another role out right after that. And, I'm
Nice.
in,
Hell
I'm in the
yeah.
business right now. I'm the real life Johnny
Yeah.
Cage, man. I'm the real life Johnny Cage.
Okay, all right,
I'm the
There
real
we
Johnny
life Johnny
go.
Cage.
Cage. Like I will beat people
Let's
up. Like
go.
I'm in movies. I'm in TV shows. All that shit.
Damn right, yo. That's awesome. And
Mhm.
it's funny too because talk about how you got hose in the back. If RVD knows one thing, it's good weed and hose. So it
Yeah, he gets
works.
bitches. He definitely gets bitches.
Is
Yeah,
the energy real? Like, is that energy like? Is it
he's the real
real?
deal.
Do
He's the
you
real
feel it when
deal.
you like? Do you feel the energy when you next to him?
Yeah, he just be vibing out. He's kind of like me. He just be vibing out, but he's a killer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Right.
super high. You know, he
yeah.
When
keep
it's
he
time
keep
to
that pen
work.
on him. Is it? But it's time to work. He worked, and I learned so much from him. It was really
Nice.
dope. It
Hell
was
yeah.
an awesome experience. I know a lot of wrestlers, man. During my journey before I even started wrestling, I interacted with a lot, and they've become kind of like mentors to me. Some of them.
Really.
Yeah.
Anybody in particular you want to like shout out?
Yo, I want to shout out MVP, man. The homie
Hell yeah.
MVP. I met him a
Hell
couple
yeah.
years ago through jujitsu. He came to Maryland, and we did a information exchange. I showed him my jujitsu because I'm the best in the world, and I
Right.
helped him get medals in the worlds, the Masters
Hmm.
Worlds in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, IBJJF, and he's the first person to teach me how to lock up.
Wow, really? That's
Yeah, he taught
awesome.
me just really core fundamentals, philosophy. We broke down some matches. He told me cool stories, and I really, he's one of my mentors. He's my OG. Every time I talk to him, I say, "Yo, that's my OG MVP."
That's
Really,
sick, dude. That's
yeah.
awesome.
And I
And then
still stay in contact.
from what we see, man, like he has that same impact on a lot of people on the WWE roster. He's a big producer there now, all that kind of
Hmm.
stuff. But it seems like he's taken guys like Omos and guys like
Bobby
Cedric Alexander
Lashley.
kind of under the
Hmm.
wing, that kind of deal, like the young guys specifically. I mean, shit, we actually mentioned it on the podcast when he had come back to WWE originally. That was when Monday Night Raw started to have more diversity and we started seeing more of those kind of
Call
stories,
it
stuff
what it
like that.
is. Monday Night Black.
Word.
That's
I
what we
mean,
called
It's gonna
it.
get blacker. Watch. I'm gonna be on there soon. It's
there
gonna
you
be my
go.
OG just taking over.
Okay, hold
Shit.
on.
Join the Hurt
Let me
family, yo.
Nah,
let
it's
me
gonna be
let me
different, yo. It's gonna be Team Spriggs 2.0.
let me
I
ask a
love it. I
question.
love
Let
it.
me ask a question, Tim. I think this is important.
Word.
Now,
It's
I
good.
know anybody gonna give you people like to give you the generic answer. Give me the real. I know you will. If you
Yeah.
had to pick a federation that Tim Spriggs is going to be it, the one, like you can pick any federation that you're gonna rule. Where is it gonna be?
Whichever federation gives me the more money, the
Yes,
most money.
sir.
When I
Yes,
growing up,
sir.
I'm not like some of these nerds that was like, I just always want to be a wrestler. And I just want to go out there and perform for the people. Fuck that. I'm chasing a bag.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Secure the
All right.
commas, bro. Secure. Yes.
I'm not a mark for the letters. I'm a mark for the numbers. How many zeros are we gonna put? How many commas we're gonna have? Fuck all that other
Mhm.
shit. Because at the end of the day, I'm a prize fighter. Okay. I hate when
Damn.
I hear people say I do it for the art. That's so stupid. Hey, dumbass. I'm a prize fighter. You know what we fight for? A prize. And the prize is the most money. I'm not waking up early in the morning to lift weights. I didn't take so many judo throws from judo Olympians. I didn't get blast doubled by NCAA champions. I wasn't getting choked out by the best grapplers in the world just to come on here and, light my shoe on fire in front of 50 people in some hole in the wall in New Jersey. Okay.
Right.
I'm trying to get all the gold and all the green, because when you get all the gold and the company that makes all the money, you get all the green, and then you don't have to do this shit no more.
Right. It's the
I'm not
Owen
gonna
Hart
abuse
way.
my body just for shits and giggles for some nerd on a typewriter that has a newsletter to put imaginary stars on my fucking matches. Like, what's a good match to me? I go in there with champagne, with Team Spriggs behind me, with some big booty bitches behind me, and like my whole entourage there. If I come in there with a fucking camel, I will. And people can hate me. I'm gonna dance. Then I'm gonna go in there, whoop somebody's ass in 30 seconds or less, then leave without a scratch on me, because I don't feel like getting sweaty. I don't want to be bumped and bruised when I go to the club afterwards to celebrate my victory.
It works, man.
Facts.
It
Facts.
works.
Facts.
It works. I love
All
that
of it.
philosophy, though. That philosophy is everything, bro. It's all about championships and green. That's all it comes down to. I totally agree with you. Why else would you get into this?
Hey man, I have a question. Can you eat a 5-star rating?
Hell no.
Can you put that
Nah.
shit in your gas tank?
Nope.
No, sir.
Can you buy a Versace shirt?
Nope.
No,
No,
sir.
you can't, right? But you can with money,
Mm-mm.
right?
Right.
And we get
Absolutely.
money, whoever pays me the most, to answer your question. Was that good enough? Better than the
Yeah.
best?
And you know what? That was better than the best, sir. Like I appreciate that.
Okay, cool.
Like I appreciate that, because
right.
I mean, I'm just trying to. Could I be on the squad? I'll supply the pussy and mimosas. Like I get.
Hey man, listen, we needed some mimosas. We ain't have no orange juice, man. We ain't have
Like
no orange
I
juice.
get
One
some
of the boys
hoes.
fucked up. I can't. I gotta keep my guys like centered. I can't have them worry about carrying my belts to the ring and then worry
Oh,
about all the.
shit.
So you can bring the orange juice, bring the hose. You come to the after party shit. You can be in the entourage, man, anytime. You're
That's what
invited
I'm
too,
talking about.
Jacoby.
Hey, okay. All
I
Hey,
need
right.
some
I like
diversity.
this.
hold
There we
on.
go. Hey,
I don't know if you know Tim, but I cut up. All right, like
Hey,
like
hey,
look,
listen.
we cut up around here.
We
We don't
here
know how
for a
to
good
act.
time, not for a long time. Cut up on you
a-
one.
all I'm
It's the
saying is this.
champagne campaign, baby.
Hey, there you
That's
go.
what we
All I'm
call it. It's champagne
look.
campaign.
If you party with T Bish though, he's gonna take that 1 a.m. nap, but come 2 a.m. he's back in the party, yo. He's
That's
ready to
all,
Yo,
go.
man. We don't stop.
the power nap, dude. Like look, CJ got married, right? CJ had his little bachelor party, and they were joking me because look, I went down for an hour. Like I was like, look, I got to get that power nap in. I was up at 2:00, ready to go. I was still rolling at 4 a.m. What were they doing?
Yeah.
Sleep, like napping, like some
Rest
bitches.
is needed. Rest is
Right.
needed.
Damn right.
Shit.
Look, I'm about to take him up on his offer. I know me some hoes. Like,
Hey man, our next MCW's next show is in Parkville, and we got a big pay-per-view. We got the Shane Shamrock Cup in July.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that because we got a lot. Like I was gonna ask you about that. Like,
yeah.
So like with MCW being bigger as opposed to other federations in the DMV, stuff like that. Like on that pay-per-view in July, I've seen that you guys are advertised to have guys like the former Impact World Champion Rich Swann, for example, is going to be there. Like it's pretty notable guys: Joey Janela, Jack Evans, guys that have been to bigger national promotions, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, like. For you, you are a very confident individual, right? You're looking around being like, these guys were at the top. I'll get there in no time. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just curious, like do you take anything from that? Like being an MCW right now, like you're obviously gonna just soak everything up like a sponge, but it's like you know what I'm saying? Like, are you still trying to like fine tune the craft by picking up things here and there? Like what's your kind of like regimen being a part of these shows? Like, are you kind of trying to dissect what other people are doing that's working, or are you just kind of just focused in the hyperbolic time chamber, just ready to go out there and kick ass?
I'd like to say I'm always in that hyperbaric time chamber because I don't stop. I learned that from the grind in jiu-jitsu, being in the room with so many world-class athletes. And I'm a student of the game, so I'm always watching. I'm always watching. And I think that's the most dangerous thing about me is that I already have this experience and I've been through stuff that none of these guys have been through. Very few. And I'm the equivalent of when Kurt Angle came in there.
Yes, sir.
You know,
ready to go. We ready to get it, man.
They can talk about all these dudes that are in the business now, but very few came into the business as the top guy in their chosen sport before they went in. I did. And what makes me dangerous is that I'm always studying. I'm always trying to get better because I have a white belt mentality. So whatever my mentors tell me, it can be anybody. I listen, I apply, and I'm always in the gym. Always. I'm always training in MCW. I'm always lifting weights. I'm still doing jujitsu. I'm starting to do kickboxing again, and I'm just ready. So whenever I make that call, I'm going to be ready.
Perfect. No, that's I expect nonetheless from the Tim Spriggs, man. Like this is eye-opening, honestly, because like I'm not even fronting, dude. You're probably one of the most focused individuals I think we've ever talked to or that I've ever spoken to in terms of just talking to a bunch of people in this industry. Like, it just seems like you have this goal, this mentality of like, nobody's stopping me from getting to where I need to be.
It's not a game to me. I think a lot of guys think it's a game. They want to just wear kick pads and spandex and think they're a tough guy. They want to play games. It's not a game to me. I take it deathly serious. That's why I can have fun. Like sip champagne on the way there because I already trained.
Boom, easy to go. I love it.
As you kind of ramp up in this sport, like how do you balance, you know, like family and relationship while pursuing this career that you're pursuing right now?
I just make it abundantly clear of my goals and my family, my loved ones. They already know just that comes first. And I'm doing it basically for them because I know the numbers. I know what these guys make just to come and do an autograph signing. I know what these contracts are looking like. And I know that when I win, I accomplish all my goals. When I get all the gold, when I get all the green, when I get to the top, it doesn't matter what federation, because remember, whichever one pays the most, when I get there, I'm paying it back to the people that have always held me down. And they know that I'm capable of doing that. I've already shown it time and time again. So they know, but you know, I have a good time. I'm able to do time management because I put the work in and they got to understand it. And if you don't, deuces, you out of there, you deleted.
That's the best mindset to have, man. Yeah. You can't let nobody derail the train.
No one's going to stop me.
No. So Tim, as we wrap up the wrestling portion of this, like, what's up with the finisher and the signature move? So, you know, most people got, you know, like two things they like to do. Like, what's the finisher? What's it called? And what's the signature?
I mean, I'm the master of the flying guillotine. I've done it in the top level of grappling. Yeah. I just did it to win and get the fastest submission in history pro wrestling. But I'm one of these athletes. I'm more than just a wrestler. I'm an athlete. I'm a killer. That you can't look at your phone when you watch one of my matches because at any moment it could end.
Right.
If I get a hold of you, like in wrestling, you have to grab the person, you have to touch them. So if I grab you, it can end like that. So I can do whatever I want as far as a special move. That's probably the most special because that's the most recent. But I love all my weapons, man. Mm-hmm. It's like my children. I can't pick which one.
Yeah.
So, like, Tim, I need that. Can we name the guillotine? Can we name it?
What was y'all thinking, man?
I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know when I really want to call it. Like,
shit, don't blink. Like I mean, it's something like that. Like,
I mean, it's game over, just, I guess. But
the money maker, dude. Like.
The money maker. That's what my girls shake on the way to the ring, man. I can't call it the money maker.
The money maker.
I mean, technically, this beautiful face is the money maker, you know.
We'll
think of something. We'll think of something, man. How about this? All your listeners make a poll, you know. come
Yeah,
up
we'll
in the
make it
comments,
happen.
have them send in, and then next episode after this, we can make the decision now.
All right.
Because
All
I
right.
like the flying guillotine because that's what it is, and I'm a master of it.
I love it, dude. Like
Okay.
I seen it. I seen a couple of videos you do it. I was wondering if that was the thing, like, right? If it was going to be the permanent thing. If I were you, it needs to be
It's
the
working.
permanent thing because it looks pretty.
Oh yeah, I can hit it from anywhere
Yeah.
on anybody.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take one more break and
Yeah.
then we'll be back to close out. Okay. So it is time for Mr. Spriggs to run my gauntlet, right? So every time we get a first-time indie wrestler on the show, I run them through my series of crazy questions, and they get only like a second to really pop off an answer. So it's really what they think, right?
Okay.
So are you ready, Tim?
I was born ready.
Are you sure?
I'm 100% sure.
Okay, favorite theme song?
Sexy Boy by Shawn Michaels.
Favorite gimmick?
Classic.
Gimmick as in like character?
Yep.
Undertaker.
Best WrestleMania entrance?
Shawn Michaels coming from the rafters.
Most attractive female wrestler?
In the game or all time?
Yeah, in the game all the time.
All time. Give it to me.
I'm gonna go with Sasha Banks.
Best ring gear?
Mine.
Favorite heel?
Tully Blanchard.
Worst storyline ever created?
Whatever resulted in Booker T losing to Triple H. I didn't fuck with that. It's the worst.
Shit.
Whose merch do you own right now?
I got a shirt of Mitsuharu Musawa and Toshiaki Kawada, one of each.
Oh wow,
Okay.
nice. Sick.
Last but not least. Ready?
Yeah,
Ready? Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Who's the most overrated wrestler that you know right now?
Oof.
Active right now.
Yep.
Active.
Yep.
CM Punk. CM Punk. I'm gonna tell you. Do I have time to tell you why? Is that the last question I have time?
Go ahead.
No.
Yep, go ahead.
Please.
Go ahead.
Hey, yo.
Please.
So here's the thing with
Go
me.
ahead.
I stopped watching wrestling when Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit passed away. So I wasn't watching for a real long time until like a few years ago, right?
Mhm.
And between then and now, like people loved CM Punk, but even like before I start, like even after I started watching again, everyone was like CM Punk, CM Punk. I'm like, all right, man, let's see what this is all about. So the first thing you see is like the pipe bomb, right? And then you see his matches, and I'm like, man, listen, I know CM Punk from getting packed out in the UFC, and I know guys that have made the UFC. I've trained with them, like they know me. I've been in a room, I've done MMA sparring in a room with legitimate killers, and he got packed out on the UFC against a photographer. And then I see this pipe bomb promo that he cut. I'm like, man, this motherfucker just crying because he don't have the position he wants at work. Like, stop crying.
Yo.
And then the whole like, oh, I love him. He's straight edge. Like, okay, cool, bro. You're so cool. You don't drink or you don't smoke weed. Like, all right, cool, man. Save some pussy for the rest of us, I guess. And then I watch him wrestle. I'm like, okay, cool. But like, you doing what Kenta does, except not as crisp. Like everybody stole from Kenta. So like for me, I'm like, okay, like that's cool. I get it. Like all the nerds love you, you know, you don't drink or you don't smoke, and like that's cool and everything, but you don't move me like that. So, you know, it's great. He won the match against Heyman. He won. But just for me, coming from where I come from, I just know that if we ever have a match, like he's getting packed out worse than when he lost to a photographer.
Y'all MMA guys, y'all really hang y'all hat on him getting his shit pushed in.
I mean, even I already told you other stuff besides that. You asked me the question. I said him. I'm like, I don't know. I didn't come up and watch him like that. Like, you know, I didn't wake up with like, you know, my CM Punk shirt, eating like cereal every morning, eager to watch him wrestle. Like, that's not me. So that's my answer, yo. That's my answer.
Like, CJ likes to bring that shit up. CJ likes to bring that shit up all the time. Like how the CM Punk getting his ass like fucking.
Now here's the thing. Here's the thing. A lot of guys in wrestling don't have the balls that he has to go out there, but your resume is your resume. So that's my answer. Okay. And when he talks on mic, I just don't feel it. Like I'm just like, okay, cool. Like you're the Mr. Nice guy, and you know everybody loves you. But I mean, like, okay, cool.
For now.
I mean, cool. I
We'll
don't got love
see.
for nobody because they're in my way. He's just another guy in my way.
Right. He's
in my
just
way.
another
Like,
name.
you gotta
right.
go. Like, you gotta go. You can't be here. If we're in the same, this is my block. If we're here, this is my block.
Oh,
And I want my corners.
Tim,
Yeah, I get you. I
please,
get
when
you.
you get, let me tell you something. We will come to any, like any MCW shit you invite us to, we'll show up. But when you hit the big leagues, I need to be there so I can hype your shit up along with you. Like, I want to hype your hype. Like, I need to be there. Because look, Jake, I'm trying to tell you, he don't understand. I'll be out there showing my damn titties. Like,
do it. Listen, I don't care. Like, we need to bring legitimacy and excitement back to this sport, and I'm the one that's going to do it. So yes,
I love
bring
it.
everybody. The Champagne Campaign. We got 2 new members of the Champagne Campaign. Let's get it.
We're right here.
Yes,
Let's get it.
Yes. Let's go.
So we've talked you to death and asked you all kinds of questions. Almost an hour, right? So we like to turn the tables. So what do you got for us? You can ask us whatever you want to ask. People seem to like asking us questions, and I don't know why, because I don't think I really have a great personality. I whatever.
I mean, my only question is, are you guys going to go to the next couple of MCW shows and watch me beat the hell out of somebody in record time? That's my biggest question. Are y'all? Yes.
I mean,
are we in the VIP? Like, I mean, I don't do anything basic.
Check this out. I just suggested you guys get your tickets now because MCW shows sell out. We got one in Parkville on January 18th. That's going to be major. Summer Slamboree. And then we got the Shane Shamrock Memorial Cup in Joppa. We're reopening Joppa Arena. I think it's all because of me. Because as soon as I come in here, I mean, I can go on and on, but I'm the chosen one. And then as soon as I entered the doors of MCW, great things started happening. And one of those things is Joppa Arena is reopening. We're getting the whole thing redone. It's going to be the same Shamrock Cup. You already named some of the guys that are going to be here. It's the most prestigious indie tournament around. In my opinion is the one that matters right now. And you guys got to be there. I'm not in the tournament as of now, but I am the highlight of the show, as my theme music says. And you guys need to go there. So my question is, are you guys going to come? Are y'all going to show up?
Well, I mean,
honestly,
if you
July
guys
23rd,
check this out. You guys show up and y'all get like front row seats. I will have the champagne flutes ready for y'all, and I will hand you personally 2 glasses. I'll even have one of my shorties twerk on y'all. Dead ass. I am dead ass. Y'all think I'm playing? I call my shot. I will do it.
Look, all I'm saying is I am better than the best, right? And I don't do anything basic at all. So if we do show up, and he is Hollywood Jacoby, right?
Yeah,
absolutely. Through and through.
So if we do show, and Mr. Monday Night, he's in that trio too. So if we do show up, we there to shut it down. That's all I'm saying.
Well, we gonna shut it down. They gonna have to do like they did. Like they gonna have to put new canvas on. They might have to get some fire extinguishers. It's just gonna be lit.
Okay.
Fire emoji, fire emoji, fire emoji, fire.
I love it. So, ladies and gentlemen, we thank Mr. Tim Spriggs for coming to hang out with us today in our Indie Underground. Tim, you already plugged a couple of things, but where can our listeners find you and see more of you? And I promise you, everybody, it's fun to watch.
All right. So on the professional wrestling tip, you can find me at Tim Spriggs BJJ on Instagram or Facebook. And you can see me on Twitter because that's where all wrestling, that's the most important thing. Wrestling goes through Twitter. So you can hit me up at Mushmaster Wins on Twitter. If you want to learn some jiu-jitsu, you go to timspriggsbjj.com, get you a private lesson. If you already do jiu-jitsu, you send me footage of your matches. I can critique them. I can make a game plan for you, all that good stuff there. Or you can listen to me talk about jiu-jitsu and just talk about just how it is on the grind of being a professional athlete. And I talk about my wrestling career too at BJJ Goons podcast. And it's on your favorite streaming platform and YouTube.
Boom. Jacoby, you have to follow up with that and tell Tim's fans and ours where they can find our shit.
Yeah.
So look, you can find the Hardest Part of the Ring podcast wherever you get your podcasts listening from, right? So Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, Spotify, Amazon, even, we are there. Anywhere we are there, I guarantee it. You can find us on Instagram at the Hardest Part of the Ring with an underscore, on Twitter at the Hardest_pod, and of course on Facebook at the same name, the Hardest Part of the Ring. However, I got to talk about this Joppa show because I truly think we can make that happen. Where it is in the end of July, I'm telling you, especially if we're promised twerking, like we can make that happen.
Hey,
And on pay-per-view.
Look, he's a producer, so like all of that shit goes through him. I'm just I'm the talent, man. Like I'm the man. Like he books all of my shit. So if he says we're gonna be there, we're gonna find a way to be there for real, legitimately. So we'll talk more off air about this.
Yes, absolutely. We shall. And even if I can't hand you the champagne, we're gonna be parking lot pipping like last time. Except it's gonna be even bigger. Watch. Yeah. It's like that.
Oh God. Well, America, thank you for joining us at the hardest part of the ring, Indie Underground. We look forward to seeing Mr. Spriggs again on our show. And as always, we appreciate you and we'll see you soon.